December 7, 1941. Hundreds of Japanese planes roar overhead as battleships explode and airfields burn. It's one of the darkest days in U.S. military history. But what if we change one thing? Sitting under a tarp on the tarmac is something that nobody could possibly understand in 1941, the F-22 Raptor. A modern fighter jet dropped into a battle it was never meant for. So, what happens when the most advanced jet on Earth is unleashed during one of the most infamous attacks in history? Can it stop the raid, or is it just one jet against hundreds, which is over 1,100 miles per hour, or 1,770 kilometers per hour faster than anything that existed in 1941? It's nearly invisible to radar and is armed to the teeth. Here's a breakdown of its weaponry. Let's break down what exactly got dropped into 1941. The F-22 can cruise at Mach 1.5. 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM radar-guided air missiles capable of striking targets over 50 miles away, nearly 100 miles with the latest versions. The Raptor takes off just as the first formations are spotted. It climbs to altitude within seconds, its radar scanning the horizon. Almost immediately, it locks onto multiple targets, all from over 30 miles away. Its AMRAAMs and Sidewinders haven't been invented yet, and even if someone found them, they wouldn't know how to load or launch them. They can refuel, rearm, and launch dozens of planes every few hours. In 1941, they've rehearsed this exact attack down to the second. The Raptor might be unmatched in the air, but once it runs out of fuel or ammo, it's done. No second run. If every missile hit and the cannon was used perfectly, it might bring down about a dozen enemy aircraft, missiles, and a few more with the Vulcan cannon, depending on how many rounds it takes to disable each one. Realistically, somewhere between 10 and 13 planes could be taken out. Planes would vanish before they even knew the threat was there. The entire plan would begin to crumble. And for the American troops on the ground, seeing something they've never seen before, jet. Taking down enemy planes with ease, they wouldn't know what it was, only that it was on their side. Enough to disrupt a wave, maybe save some ships and protect a few lives, but not enough to stop the entire armada. But that's it. A single failed sensor or system glitch could end the mission. There are no maintenance crews, no diagnostics, and no spare parts. 188 aircraft were destroyed on the ground, and another 159 were damaged. If something breaks, it stays broken. It was a coordinated strike on ships, airfields, and infrastructure. In the real 1941 attack, 8 U.S. battleships were damaged or sunk. Could one F-22 change that? More than 2,400 Americans lost their lives. There are too many planes, too many angles, and too many targets. They don't even know it's there. Then, missiles. The first AMRAAM streaks through the air. Even a flawless F-22 mission couldn't be in 10 places at once. Some bombers would still get through, and some ships would still take hits. Without the proper tools or computer systems, even the simplest problem becomes a mission-ending issue. The Japanese don't see it, and maybe, just maybe, turn panic into a fighting chance. The war would still begin, but it wouldn't begin the same way. It might unfold differently, but one thing is certain: one jet can't protect every ship, every airfield, every soldier, especially without supplies. While a single F-22 Raptor might not completely change the outcome of the Pearl Harbor attack, its presence would undoubtedly create chaos, disrupt the enemy's plans, and give the U.S. a fighting chance. It would throw the Japanese pilots into confusion, break their formations, and deliver a surprise they never saw coming. While it can't protect every ship or airfield, it could save lives, shift the momentum, and alter the course of history. The war would still unfold, but maybe, just maybe, it would develop in a way we never expected. One jet might not win the battle, but it could change how we view warfare and what happens. When? Modern technology faces the challenges of the past. But with over 300 enemy planes in the sky, no amount of technology can be everywhere at once. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out the next video to see what happens when a Roman legion faces a World War II bunker. In 1 second, the formation is tight, and in the next, planes vanish mid-flight. No warning, no return fire. Panic sets in. The bombers break formation and the fighters spin off in all directions, trying to figure out where the threat came from. By the time they understand something's wrong, a dozen planes are already gone. They've never seen anything like this. The second wave is already on its way. Another 170 planes flying the same path toward Pearl Harbor. But this time, the surprise is gone. Alarms are blaring and soldiers rush to man anti-aircraft guns. Up above, one jet is changing the entire battle. The F-22 is fast, but it's still just one aircraft. Every second, it's chasing fighters high in the sky, while more bombers sneak through low and fast. The Raptor is dominating the air, but even it has its limits. To AIM-9 Sidewinders, heat-seeking missiles for close-range combat. After 30 to 40 minutes of dogfighting, it either has to land or go down, and that's where the problems begin. The F-22 uses JP-8 jet fuel, a modern military-grade blend that doesn't exist in 1941. Even if it manages to land safely, there's no way to refuel it. No one has the fuel, the tools, or the technical knowledge to get it back in the air. One M61A2 Vulcan cannon, a 20mm 6-barrel cannon with 480 rounds, firing up to 100 rounds per second. It climbs faster, turns sharper, and flies higher than anything in 1941. But it's not invincible. There are no ground crews, no spare parts, and no modern fuel in 1941. Nobody can fix it, refuel it, or even understand how it works. The Raptor gets one chance, and after that, it's done. The Raptor S radar can track over 20 targets at once and fire before the enemy even knows it's there. Now, let's take a look at what it's up against. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese launched a surprise attack with 353 aircraft split into 2 waves. The lineup included Mitsubishi A6M0 fighters, Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers, and Aichi D-3A dive bombers. The Zero was fast and agile for its time, but it only reached speeds of around 330 miles per hour or 530 kilometers per hour. Their aircraft launch from nearby aircraft carriers, which are stocked with fuel, bombs, and trained deck crews. The bombers were even slower, barely touching 230 miles per hour, less than 370 kilometers per hour. These planes had no computers, no radar, and no guided weapons. Everything was manual, from aiming to navigation. If they wanted to shoot something, they had to see it and get close. Their strategy relied on tight formations and overwhelming the enemy with speed and coordination, not technology. And in 1941, that worked because no one was ready for it. But this time, someone is. The first wave of Japanese aircraft approaches 183 planes, coming in low over the water. The jet can fly over 1,600 nautical miles, round 1,840 miles, when cruising smoothly with extra fuel tanks. But in intense combat, it burns fuel quickly. Not only that, but the jet can't be rearmed. Meanwhile, the Japanese side has fully operational logistics. The clock is ticking. So, can the F-22 actually stop the attack? Pearl Harbor wasn't just an air battle. Yes, but not completely. The Raptor would dominate the skies, but even its power has limits. It might change the course of the attack, but it can't stop it entirely. But what if the shock alone is enough to turn the tide? For the Japanese pilots, chaos would set in. While it couldn't stop the attack, the Raptor would shake the attackers, boost morale for the Americans.